I am Iron Man.
Hello there.
Avengers!
First, I want to say thank you everyone for listening. And if you are subscribed, thank you. If not, consider subscribing. We're trying to get to 50 subscribers by what video was it?
20, I think.
25?
25 sounds good. We're at
25.
what, 17?
Little buffer. Yeah. So thank you. Please consider it. We're going to be talking a lot of Marvel and even a sprinkle of Star Wars today.
Yeah.
That said,
and you're probably wondering why we're in different places. Not
Yeah,
our
both in
usual,
different
not our
places.
usual sets. I'm upstairs. My fiance is currently playing a game on my regular computer. So that's why you may see, well, obviously you see an air conditioner and you may see this dog jumping on my lap. He wants me to throw a tennis ball. But
And I am in a hotel because work has me out and about for this today. Woo. But yeah. So please let us know and bear with us. Audio might be different for at least my end. But yeah. So She-Hulk episode
episode 6.
Episode 6, the wedding episodes. This sucks.
Yeah. I think they're doing way too much filler now. Like this didn't have anything to do with greater implications of the show. You know, like
I agree, and it's the last episode we talked about good filler. We thought they did like the last episode was clearly a filler episode. You know, she had to get the suit. We had the cliffhanger with Daredevil, which I'm going to catch real into.
God.
And wait, what was even the main plot of that episode? Was the
which one? The episode 5, the one before that?
Yeah,
that was
5.
the copyright, the She-Hulk copyright.
Right. And then episode 4 was Donnie Blaze, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Like 2 good filler episodes. Like you're still establishing who She-Hulk is, her personality with other people, other characters in the MCU. Like I thought they were both good episodes. And then you have this episode, which was so bad for so many reasons. First of all, it was just boring filler.
Yeah.
It's a wedding. First of all, it's a wedding about someone she doesn't even care about. So why am I going to care?
Why are we going to care about it? Yeah, right. Exactly. Like,
and then my biggest gripe is the Daredevil thing, which I'm still holding off on. Like that's not even like it's not even. But the biggest complaint about the episode itself is the Titania stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like if that was the Titania fight, dude, that fight was a bitch slap and it was over.
Yeah, like, pretty much. I mean, it was like 2 punches and bing bang boom, done.
Right? Like
that was Green Lantern-esque fight. You know what I mean?
Yes, it was. And my problem with it is this. The last episode with the copyright issues, Titania says this isn't over to She-Hulk. Yeah. And then you have this fight and she runs away. Is she really going to come back for a third fight?
Yeah.
Like, why did we have this in between fight? I think slap fest.
I think one of my notes was like, she's basically it was like, will she come back for more, or is she just going to be a joke villain? Like, I mean, I guess right now she's probably just going to be taken as a joke villain, but
yes.
Kind of sucks because that's her main She-Hulk's main villain in the comics. So.
I know, and I really like that actress. I thought it was really hyping up a good antagonist to She-Hulk, and I mean that was just such a boring. I mean, when that's your fight, the first time they're actually fighting, and don't get me wrong. Well, actually, no, I take it back. I was gonna say like, oh, it's the first fight, like it might not be that great, but She-Hulk's supposed to lose the first fight. You're supposed to be like, I didn't realize how strong other people are. I have to
Exactly.
go train or learn or whatever.
Gotta have a montage.
Exactly. But no, instead, she literally just backhands her.
Yeah.
She flies across the room, breaks her teeth for whoever the frick cares about that.
That was the grossest thing I've ever seen.
So unnecessary.
Yeah.
So it brings nothing to the table when you do something.
It was
like
just
that.
a throwaway joke.
No, and that's what, like, okay, so Titania is gonna go get her teeth fixed. She's gonna be even more pissed. And what? Now She-Hulk's gonna lose to her? So then we're gonna have what would that be? That would be a third fight. So are we gonna have four? Are we having 2 more fights with her?
And my biggest thing with this episode too, like, focus also with Titania, but like they dropped the story ball. Like they dropped, like there's three more episodes left. There's 9 episodes.
There's 3. So there's 3 episodes left. And remember in the last podcast we talked about we have to have the Daredevil and assumably Wrecking Crew fight, right? Yeah. Which is going to be 1 episode because they're not going to put these on the same. We're going to have Abomination, and then we're going to have a Titania real fight. And we were like, oh, can't imagine what the 4th episode is going to be. Probably going to be filler, but can't wait to find out what. This is that episode.
Yeah, like, and it was straight filler. Yeah.
And I've said the name a couple of times. I can't help but also be just absolutely annoyed to hell that you teased Daredevil last episode and don't bring him in.
You didn't put him in. Like, what the hell?
Why did we do that last episode?
Yeah, like that's clear cut setup for this is what's coming next week. You know, like
right. That's what a cliffhanger in a TV show is.
Exactly.
Like, unless it's a credit scene that's clearly like, oh, like or when Hulk flies off into space in episode 2 of She-Hulk, right? Like, yeah. Clearly, that's not going to pay off in this. That's going to be
that's setting up something.
Flying off to World War Hulk.
Yeah,
you know. But like, I mean, the Daredevil thing was just like we already knew he was coming.
Yeah,
why tease him not for next week?
Exactly. We saw him in the trailer for the show, like the full pretty much full profile of Daredevil. But you tease the helmet in the 5th episode, and then don't even mention him in the 6th episode. No, like not even a mention. Not even there wasn't even an end credit scene for this episode. Like I was thinking maybe like she'd start working another case and Matt Murdock would show up or something. But
like another Matt Murdock cliffhanger, I'd be like, fine, whatever. Like I was holding my breath till the last second. But was it this episode? Did this end with like we saw the lab? Like
it was this one where it was
it was like lab samples. Like I don't think they got her DNA.
No, they were it was showing off the bigger needle.
Yeah,
stronger needle.
Like who fucking cares? Like excuse me, I try not to curse on this show, but like
this episode really pissed us off.
Like we already know about the people with the needles. They failed in episode 2.
Yeah.
Like we don't need a reminder of them.
I don't need a reminder of their failure.
Exactly. And it was just an absurd, like, who cares? The dumb cliffhanger. It made no sense. Didn't tie into last week's with Daredevil.
Yeah.
The wedding just was so boring. It was so dumb. You have a wedding for someone who's not even her friend, is a bitch to She-Hulk, and then it's like, okay, I don't like any of these characters except for She-Hulk.
It would have made sense if it was like the best friend or like her lawyer rival,
someone involved in the show,
exactly, not just some random person.
And even She-Hulk, like her 4th wall break for this episode was like, oh, there's never a good time for a wedding or something like that. And it's like true, but like you can have like the characters used for that wedding just did not make sense.
No.
It was a high school friend who she hadn't talked to in years. And then they, again, Disney not understanding how the world works. Them saying like, oh yes, this person who is clearly a celebrity now as She-Hulk, let's make her the party bitch. Let's make her the beer wench, whatever you want to call her. Like, what?
What? Yeah, like what is happening?
Oh. It was just absurd. And it's just, I think the most frustrating thing, I know I texted this to you, was that this episode was how I think everyone's reacted to the series as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So I hate having that episode exist because it's the moment of like when they're trying to when the annoying internet trolls are trying to make their argument, it's like this is the one they can point to, and I can't argue against.
Yeah, I know that. Like what we're talking, like how we're talking right now, is complete 360 or 180
Right.
what we talked about last week. Because last week I was like all in, like yo. I mean, I know it's been 3 filler episodes, but they've still been good. This one was just, I feel like they had nothing to do. They had no substance to write about for this episode, and they were saving all the other big stuff for the last 3. Which
Right.
why do that? Like,
Which is what we
you have
talked about.
3
We
episodes
expected-
left.
And I just, it was a Titania, like, and that's the other thing too. We truly are going to have too much Titania now.
Yeah.
And that's, oh wait, nope, that's just text. We're good. Yeah, but like this is one episode too much. It doesn't make sense in the sense, it doesn't make sense because this isn't over, should have led to the final battle or a more significant middle fight. And
Yeah.
it's not. And it makes no sense.
It would have made more sense for this episode if She-Hulk got like her ass kicked. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
if she got beaten by Titania, then it would set up a better rematch because then she'd have to prove herself. But right now, she's on top of the freaking world. You know what I mean? Like her ego isn't in check. You know what I mean? Like,
Correct.
I was so happy with the show because it was blending both, comedy and MCU stuff. But now
Yeah.
it's just doesn't know what it's doing.
Well, and that's what, like, we've been praising it for knowing what it is and being goofy on purpose in a way
Yeah.
that people didn't like, but it was because it wasn't like, if you're trying to look for the next Loki or the next, Multiverse of Madness, like, this wasn't that. And we were cool with that. We wanted what it is, but this episode was just boring, to say the least. I guess we were just going on about it. I don't actually know if there was anything else I wanted to specifically say for She-Hulk.
The only thing I thought was funny in the episode was that Mr. Immortal guy.
Yes, that was
like-
that whole bit was great.
Like the B story was so much better than the A story, I thought.
Yes, it actually was really good. Like,
Yeah.
like it was really good. Like, in the sense that first, Mr. Immortal was extremely amusing, and entertaining. Second, the best friend whose name I don't know, but the best friend, like, showing off to the other lawyer, like, oh, hey, I'm really good at my job, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was interesting seeing her progress in the company.
Yeah.
And it's curious to see how that's going to go for their relationship, like her and Jennifer. Jessica? I always forget what She-Hulk's name.
Yeah, Jennifer Walters.
Jennifer.
Yep.
But yeah. So I thought the B plot was great, very entertaining. Thought it was hilarious, especially when the two of them were talking to him, and
he just jumped out the window.
Window. Like,
I thought that was good.
I immediately had like secondhand like terror because the two lawyers are standing at the edge of this extremely open window.
Yeah, just like leaning out. Yeah.
No, I was like, no, get away from there.
I was looking at him, the guy that was playing Mr. Immortal. I was like, who is that? He was the guy in Book of Boba Fett, like the mayor's assistant, like that really twitchy, like I think he was a Twi'lek or Twi'lek or whatever they're called.
He was a scumbag in that too.
Yeah. I was like, why does this guy look so familiar?
Oh my god, that is hilarious.
And then I looked him up on IMDb, and I was like, he was a Book of Boba Fett. Okay.
You know what's funny? I wouldn't like. He obviously looks similar, but the voice. As soon as you said that's the voice that I clicked into place.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's some comedian. I think he's a Canadian comedian or something. But
okay, he hasn't quite made it in the States yet, then.
No. Yeah. He's making his way over.
But like the other, okay, like, again, this isn't Daredevil's show, but like,
no.
Come on.
I thought we were going to get a little bit more than 1 or 2 episodes. Like,
it's not even that. We talked about it before, and it was clearly the person in charge of the trailer who made the decision to release that that was not.
It was a dumb idea.
Yes. They should have, I don't know, teased it in a different way. Maybe even showed the helmet box thing instead of him.
It would have made more sense because it could be like, oh, is he in the show, or are we just going to see his costume being made when we go to see She-Hulk's costume being made, which we still haven't seen the freaking costume. Like
I know she did hold it today, or in the episode. She had it in the
the bag, the
garment bag.
Yeah, I guess not a suit bag, but yeah.
But yeah, dude. I mean, between Abomination technically not being in Thunderbolts, although we talked about, I'm pretty sure we talked about, like, it makes sense they're not going to reveal Abomination in Thunderbolts because that just mutes the point of watching She-Hulk. Like, he could still be in it, and we had to wait for the end of the show to find that out. But we're really kind of getting to a point of like, what's the fucking point of this show?
I know. Like, what's the greater implication other than Daredevil and Planet Hulk? Like, those are the two. And those aren't even about She-Hulk. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
The literal show.
It's not like, I don't know. That's what it's for its faults. Miss Marvel, at least knew what the end goal was. It was leading up to the Marvels movie, right? Yep. Like you knew it was going to tie into that somehow, even the silliest way. And it did.
Yeah.
And whatever you liked about it or didn't like about the show, like that's where it was going. And She-Hulk, like you just said, like, the Hulk movie that is rumored to be in development, I could see her not being in that, especially if it's off planet. Like,
totally, yeah.
I love that it sets it up in She-Hulk. That's cool because it's got the connection of being a Hulk, but like that's not She-Hulk's end game. So what's the end game? Like now, it's frustrating. We're at this point where now we are starting to, I guess it's a beat off the path, right? Like they took a step off. It's one episode off, and I'm hoping next week, well, tomorrow, it fixes itself. We just have one really bad filler episode. We look past it,
and then hopefully we get back to the main story, figure out what's going on. Yeah,
exactly. And rumor. I heard a rumor. I don't any Umbrella fans. I heard a rumor. But I heard a rumor in a podcast I like that apparently the villain of the end of the show might not be someone we've seen already, which again, leader behind the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm keeping that hope alive till it dies.
I saw a thing that Leader and MODOK are going to be also used in future MCU properties, like other than She-Hulk or other than Captain America and and Ant-Man. So they could be doing like a I don't know if they're like a Legion of Doom type. Like scientists, crazy people, but
I could totally see them again being main villains for Thunderbolts. Scientists being like a room of like basically like you said, like the Legion of Doom kind of a thing.
It said the Marvel's plan said they're not going to be one-off villains, so they're going to be part of a bigger thing. Whether
I'm all for it.
Secret Wars or something, but yeah.
That's what, like, another thing I could see in Secret Wars, like a whole thing of villains, like just overflow villains somewhere.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
That would be cool to have like an Avengers team of villains.
I agree. I don't think I have anything else. I think we're pretty bummed. I think tomorrow's a new day, and hopefully we get back at what we like. And I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, this episode definitely was a letdown. I don't think it's gonna. Depending on what happens in these next 3 episodes, I don't think it's gonna put too much of a sour note on the show and as a whole.
No.
That's only if they really royally screw up these next 3 episodes. But I don't think they're going to.
I agree. I think we've just gotten to the point where, okay, we're at last 3 episodes, has to be a final arc, close this strong.
Yeah.
Do what you're doing and do it well.
Exactly. Yeah. It's got to reach the finish line before it can get the medal. So
exactly. Yeah.